It's raining here in France for round number 9. Palomino on pole from UCable, and one of the home drivers, Remy LeBeau. Daf Sanchez is 4th from Hernandez, and points leader Revo, who starts 6th in the 7 car. Then it's UAPath, David 12, Sebastian Ocampo, and teammate, your boy, Captain LeBeau. Second in points is 11th from Oinkro Ezra and Baptist Jr. Then it's Sigmund in 4th from Linus Eriksson and the Red Devil. First Theo starts 17th from Daniel Bogusarov and Arthur Catfish. Then it's the back 3 of Marcus Nelson, Salas Kynes, and Enoch Hugh. For the first time in a long time, it's raining here in France. Palomino on pole, can he win? All 5 lights go on. And we are underway for the 9th round of the Formula E season, and it's a good start off the line from UCable, who gets covered off by Palomino. That opens up an opportunity for the number 26 of Remy LeBeau. The top 3 in this race tied on 60 points heading into it as they barrel down into turn number 1. What can Remy do to try and get past his teammate? They're both in the wall! Out of the race for both Palomino and UCable. Full course yellows on the opening lap. And Remy LeBeau now leads this race for Sims Racing. Just noticed their their steering wheel is actually blue in color, so obviously real world explanation, glitch, in-universe explanation, cool promotion. Hernandez is now running up in 2nd, Sanchez is 3rd, and Revo runs up in 4th. Casper LeBeau now sees himself into the points paying positions, but as the full course yellows end, bad news for Power Motorsport and for half of Sims Racing. We get back under the green flags here in Paris with the home champion, Remy LeBeau, leading the way from Hernandez and the 2 hyperdrives as they come through the double right, which has seen a few incidents in practice, but not as much as turn 1. And in these wet conditions, it's actually the first time we're running a race like this in the wet. It's the first wet race since the season had started. I was going to try and pull a statistic out of my ass, but, you know, Australia was a wet race. Charles Hernandez, you can see him in 2nd. For Dragon, this is, once again, another Hernandez performance in that Dragon racing car. As we look behind with UAPath, the field now making their way through the final sector. David 12 running up in 5th. These are conditions that he often thrives in. These are conditions that the rookie absolutely loves. He's one of the few rookies that we've seen in recent ERL history who are able to take to the ERL 02s quite well. As we're on board with race leader Remy LeBeau, he keeps it out of the wall. Unlike Daf Sanchez, sliding off into the wall. Track limits warning as his front wing is all mangled up. That allows his teammate to go by. And you know, if this is what it's like in the wet, and we've seen racing at a track like this in St. Petersburg in the dry, this is going to be quite problematic. Casper LeBeau has gone from 9th down to 16th. Somehow, Revo with the fastest opening sector. Was about to say 2nd sector, but no, was the opener. Sanchez dropping down the order as he goes side by side with UAPath, almost forced him into the wall. Almost forced the Scotsman into the wall, rather. As they now go side by side. No attack mode in these wet conditions. You can see the floodlights are completely on around the track. Remy LeBeau with a fastest 2nd sector anybody in that 26. So now for Revo, he's trying to close up to the back of Charles Hernandez. It's not impossible to overtake around this track, but the more optimal way to make a pass, and I'm not kidding, is to wait for your opponents to flounder or wait for the final lap. Lap 3 of 13, and Revo now has the fastest lap of this race. Points leader looking to continue with that points lead. Remy LeBeau leading this race as we come through that opening corner complex again. They keep it out of the wall. UAPath diving down the inside on David 12, who hits the wall, slams into the outside wall as well, does the number 12. The green flags once again flying in that opening sector, but that's a wreck, a type of incident that we see way too often around this track. 12 with a lot of front wing damage. And now Ezra getting past, swapping positions for the Nigerians. The number 76 rather, moving up into 7th place. Nelson getting past 12. He's dropping down the order like a brick right now. And we've got yellows in sector 2. Ocampo's in the wall, sliding into the wall. and into the Red Devil as well. Out of this, and we only get track limits warnings. Could have sworn that we saw a little bit of contact, but it went unpunished, and that's fair. 12 still dropping down the order. He isn't using any attack charge, I don't think, and I would hope that he isn't, just to conserve the battery for when his front wing is better. He's at 35% as we begin lap 4 of 13, 9 laps to go. For Remy LeBeau, winning today would move him up the order as his son has hit the wall with awful catfish as well. As you can see, Revo making his way through the chicane. And you know, this track also very similar to Glasgow, where we raced last season. And last season, the Glasgow race saw some of the biggest wrecks that we've seen in quite some time. And while the opening lap showed a big wreck, including the guys who qualified on the front row, the rest of this shows that that might have just been a bit of a misnomer. And honestly, that's great news for most of the pack. The hope is, though, it goes dry, as that's close to the wall for Daf Sanchez. The reason we hope it goes dry is so that attack mode goes online. We can see some actual fighting for positions further up the order, as Inocu getting a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. So he come through, and that's versus Theo in the wall. For Amblin Aguirre, the number 38 sliding down into the wall is not what they need. They need it to go dry. Do most of the pack if they want to move up the order. For Remy LeBeau, he seems to be loving these conditions. On lap 5 of 13, LeBeau still your leader. Hernandez 2 seconds off of the Frenchman in the Paris ePrix. This is brilliant stuff for Remy LeBeau as he comes through the chicanes. Hernandez flying through the opening chicane as well. Revo trying to close up to the tight driver. You are Puff getting close to the wall but staying out of it. We look back with the 27 of your boy. And it's a good day to be French, not so good to be Marcus Nelson, who gets a time penalty for causing a collision with Oinkro Ezra. Also hit the wall, and he's got a 5-second time penalty, as already mentioned. He's got front wing damage as the Red Devil now gets past. Just taking a look at all of your French drivers, they run 1st, 5th, 13th, and 17th. If that's worth anything for you. Babinet's Jr. going side by side with Linus Eriksson. Should be able to get the pass done if he can just outdrive that Mercedes, and he just can't. You know, Mercedes this season, that car has shown a woeful lack of pace. It's really just been up to both drivers, Babinet's Jr. and Salos Kynes, in terms of the pace that they've been getting out of it. And has it stopped raining? It might have. Yeah, we don't have any rain on our cameras. It's into the wall for your boy. Lap 6 of 13. The rain has stopped. I don't know if there's still any standing water. The top 4 have all missed pit entry. Your boy and Ezra both into the pits. They're going to gain quite a bit. Remy LeBeau stays out. Hernandez and Revo, they've all stayed out. The sun is coming out here. That's going to aid in the track drying process. And yes, most everyone is coming in with 7 laps to go. This is pinch time for most of the field right now in terms of whether or not you want to come in, because those inters aren't doing too hot right now. In fact, that's the wrong thing to say. They're getting too hot right now. Casper LeBeau is the last man out there on the intermediate tires, and he runs in 10th. And he's got your boy right behind him. Your boy 35 seconds off of the race lead, but that gap is closing quite substantially. Attack mode is online, and Hernandez seemingly closing up as we got yellows off into the wall as Sigmund. He's got front wing damage, and that's going to cause him to drop down the order after just coming into the pits quite recently. He's going to have to come in again. David 12, the last man out there on dry compound tires, of course, due to dropping down the order, and he's out. David 12 is out of this race. Remy LeBeau, Charles Hernandez, Revo, Ewa Puff, the Red Devil, Linus Eriksson, Bogdasarov, Kynes, and potentially Ocampo. They should all take this opportunity to come in. For your boy, it's good news for him because he can get those hard tires switched on, but this full course caution does mean that it's advantage to the guys who stayed out. The top three positions, they stayed the exact same as the cautions end, and we are back under the green flags, and your boy hasn't even made it around the final corner. That is the advantage that Remy LeBeau, Charles Hernandez, and oh no! LeBeau is out. Charles Hernandez leads in Paris as their home champion. Crashes out and brings out another full course yellow. And look at that for the Red Devil. He stayed out. He didn't pit. He missed pit entry, maybe. Jaguar didn't want to double stack. Whatever the cause, he's the only man out there on the inters as we go back under the green flags. Your boy in 6th comes through the chicane with Oinkro Ezra right behind. Ericsson behind him too, and out of the race for Bogdasarov. 2 French drivers out on the same lap. What? The cautions return here in Paris as the crashes get worse, like it's a Jax Films podcast. LeBeau came out of the pits, Casper LeBeau that is. He came out in 12th on the road. That's now 10th and 1 point. He still drops 17 behind Revo. And the guys in that three-way tie for 4th, they all score no points. The man who came into this race 3rd in points, Daf Sanchez, he's down in 16th. Revo is holding on to the points lead, and he's holding on to it quite well in 2nd place. Charles Hernandez, on course for a Formula E race win, has been long in the making. Ezra moves up into 5th place as we expect the Red Devil into the pits quite soon. 5 seconds, the margin out in front. Hernandez, your race leader, here with 5 laps to go in Paris. 7 seconds, the margin out in front, as into the wall for Charles Hernandez. Yellows in the opening sector, they clear up quite quickly as we go on board with the 7 of Revo. That is the line that you should be taking through the opening chicane, I feel. You go over the curb too much and you might get close to the wall. You are past just about keeping his wheels away from the barriers. Oinkro Ezra, Linus Eriksson, and your boy all with attack mode is out of the race for the 28. Winner of Vegas, out in Paris. The caution's returning here in Paris one more time with 5 laps to go. This has been a very hectic race, and you know, for Sims Racing, they had a bad day in Champ Car down under. They hope for something better here in Paris, and well, that's something better. Still going to take some time as we go back under the green flags. It's good to mention that the fan boost poll will end after the FG Series race in Manila is broadcast. That will come almost certainly immediately after this. And on Sparkplug Motorsport 2, as Sanchez is out, was about to explain what was going to happen on Sparkplug Motorsport 2. There you can see for about 0.2 of a second the Hyperdrive 72. Well, on Sparkplug Motorsport 2, we will show the results of the fan boost poll in full. Every single vote in a bar chart. As into the pits for Charles Hernandez. About to get green again with Revo as our race leader at 66% tire wear. Back under the green flags here in Paris with 4 to go. Revo leads from Ewer Puff and Oinkro Ezra. Your boy might move up to 2nd if he makes it past, but he doesn't. I think he's going to be coming in. In does come the next EV TCR driver. Has played the strategy quite well. Straddling the curb there was Revo in that 7 car. On board we go with Ewer Puff. He comes through the chicane, gets close to the absolute track limit, but keeps it out. The 47 of Oinkro Ezra struggling with his tires, but he isn't struggling with where to go. Hernandez is out. Charles Hernandez out of the race. Yikes. 4 laps to go. And Revo came into this race 7 points up on... Was it 7? It was 4 points up on Casper LeBeau. He's going to leave here if things continue as they are. Absolutely blasting off into the championship picture. This is your first race in the second half of the season. As we're back under the green flags. It hasn't been the greatest set of races for Daf Sanchez, has it? as we go on board with Zygmunt. Sanchez as... Oh! Zygmunt's out. As we were riding on board with the Hungarian. Another caution coming out. Down to 13 here in Paris. And for Daf Sanchez, as I was about to mention there, hasn't had the best set of races. You know, he just lost the points lead with the DNF last time out in Champ Car. And now here in Paris, he doesn't even get to run in the top 10 for too long. Caution's returning. And we're back under green flags, and I wonder, will Revo come in? He does. And soft tires going on for the Hyperdrive number 7. Will Ewa Puff come in? No, the Scotsman stays out. So Jaguar Martini, a team that last time out in Manila absolutely struggled to even get a finish worthy of points on the board. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was a double non-score with a double full car puncture on the final lap. Well, one of their cars now leads as he comes through the opening chicane. Revo has re-emerged in this race in 5th behind Casper LeBeau, we know that. And yes, he is behind the Aguri driver, the 34 of Casper LeBeau coming through the chicane. And his home race is out of the race! Goes your points leader! Things change again. Here in France. 3 laps to go, and Revo crashes out here in Paris. This is going to take a large chunk out of the team's wallets, I'm sure. We're back under the green flags here in Paris, and honestly, I'm losing words here. You are Puff, your race leader. Just taking a look at all the budgets real quick that the teams have. If you're in the Discord, then you'll be able to see this. This is bad news for Nord Hyperdrive. Unless the ERL pulls through, then a lot of teams are going to be losing a lot of money. And you know what? This is going to be true of the Champ Car grid almost certainly as well. As we're back onto lap 11. And we got yellows for the Red Devil who's hit the wall. He's got front wing damage. And you are Puff still with those 4-lap old hard compound tires coming through that opening chicane, making him last longer than most drivers would have thought at this stage. 32% for Sebastian Ocampo as he comes down into the chicane. And you know, the drivers often drive quite a lot more conservatively with all their tires. They try and keep themselves closer away from the walls. As into the wall goes Oinkro Ezra in that 47 car. I'm running out of words to say. Caution comes out. Salos Kynes with a power unit failure, and the Red Devil just goes right through him. As now we've got half of the drivers out of the race, and something tells me the ERL is just not going to give points, give R&D additions or reductions after this race. They're just going to keep it as is, which would be very interesting to see how that goes down in the paddocks. Seems like they're likely to do something like that in Champ Car after last time out. Again, very, very interesting to see. You are Puff, still your leader, 14-ish seconds in front of Sebastian Ocampo as here comes Casper LeBeau. Can he take his second race win today as he almost touches the rear of that Next EV TCR car? By the way, Next EV TCR with their best run so far this season as we begin the penultimate lap. These hards beginning to go off of their useful lifespan. I'd say your boy could be on course for a very good result here. Babinus Jr. with the oldest hard compound tires of anyone is trying to do 7 laps on him as your boy moves up into second place. He's going for his first Formula E race win as well. Barreling down into the opening chicane, Casper LeBeau moves up into third place, and he comes out of it fine. This is going to be interesting in terms of the tyre scenario. Will we see tyres blowing up? And the rear's gone for Babinus Jr. Full car puncture for Romania's Iron Babinus Jr. And the Red Devil spins it round. Out of the race for IBJ. Front wing damage for the Red Devil. Cautions come out. Everyone's going to score points. And I'm hearing in my ear, there won't be any R&D additions or reductions right now. Nothing that's going to change in here nor in Champ Car, which is going to hinder a lot of the teams there that thought they could have gotten something out of it. And it's just not going to be there. Back under the green flags here in Paris. Red Devil struggling with that front wing damage. Puff trying to get past. He's side by side, and I think he's going to try and get the move done, but he's forced wide. But keeps it out of the wall. Meanwhile, with Scotland's favourite, Puff begins the final lap here in Paris. How are his tyres looking? He's hit 0! Coming through the kink after the main straight. The rears blow up. The fronts blow up. Your boy is at 13%. I don't think he can make it. Casper's at 3%. What of everyone else? Ocampo is at 3%. What of Verstio? He could go for his second win at 23%. 15 for both Nelson and Ezra. The Red Devil has the best tyres of everybody out here. This is going to be unbelievable to see. Coming through too, as into the wall and out of the race for Sebastian Ocampo. Cautions coming out on the final lap. And your boy can see his first Formula E race win right in front of him, but he's going to need these cautions to end as quickly as possible. He needs to get past Puff before his own tyres blow up, and then Verstio is the man who could make the charge. We stay on board with the number 27, who could take his first race win at his home track as he almost runs into the back of Puff. We go green again. He's at 1%. Can he capitalize? He's using all of his attack charge, and as soon as he hits 0, he takes the lead. Your boy, your race leader here in Paris, as this rear tire blows up. Verstio moves up into 3rd, but he's at 9%. Marcus Nelson and the entire chasing pack behind him follows through. As now Verstio on the back and getting past Puff. He's chasing after your boy. Can he get his first race win? He hits 2% as he now leads here in Paris for what could be one of the most unbelievable finishes to an ERL Formula E race that we have ever seen. Front puncture for Verstio. And Ocue has moved up into 3rd place, but is it too little, too late, as he almost runs into the back of your boy? It could be a French team or Brazil's home favourite here in Paris as he rounds the final corner. 3 seconds is the margin. Is it enough as he comes to the line? Can Verstio take victory in Paris? He can! It's a second career ERL race win for Verstio. Catfish comes to the line as rain starts falling here in France. And for Casper Leboeuf, it's going to be last of the finishers and 2 points for the only man in the top 6 in the championship who will see the checkered flag today. Here is your podium, one of the most insane, shaken up podiums that we've ever seen. Verstio finally getting vengeance. His second career victory in the Electric Racing League, and he gets it in front of an Ocue and Arthur Catfish. This man can only win in some of the most insane circumstances we've seen in quite some time. Your boy is 4th from Puff, the Red Devil, Marcus Nelson and Oinkro Ezra, with Casper Leboeuf being the last finisher. Everyone else failed to score any points. So in the championship, Revo leads and he's 2 points up on Casper Leboeuf. Daph Sanchez is 3rd from Verstio and UK Ball. Then it's Remy Leboeuf, Nico Palomino, Arthur Catfish, the Red Devil, Linus Eriksson, Puff, Daniel Bogdasarov, and Ocue, Solos Kine, Sean Hernandez, your boy, David 12, Oinkro Ezra, Zygmunt, Babinus Jr., Marcus Nelson, and Sebastian Ocampo. In the Constructors' Championship, heading into round number 10, Nord Hyperdrive lead the way from Amlin Aguri and Red Bull Sims Racing. Then it's Power Motorsport, Jaguar Martini, the top 5 from Team Edams Renault, Andretti Autosport, Dragon Racing, Mercedes EQ, Rocket Venturi, and Next EV TCR. Well, here's what your standings currently look like, and honestly, it's insanity. It's pure engineered insanity. 3 points the margin in the constructors. Amlin and Aguirre finally showing their stuff. But from all of us here at Sparkplug Motorsport, we must once again remind you, the vote for the fan boost in Champ Car is about to end. It will end as soon as the FG Series race ends. So, get your votes in as quickly as possible. The Formula E poll will continue being available immediately afterwards, of course, because there are still more races for that poll to continue to be active for. But from all of us here at Sparkplug Motorsport, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you guys next time then for the final FG Series race.